I proposed in my previous book that we each have an anxiety set point. That that let's say you're worried about something, and all of a sudden that gets resolved. Whew, that just makes room for the next thing to worry with. So we each kind of fill that void because our brain is we've developed a brain that has a certain kind of set point for everything it's doing, and that just makes room for to fill that up. If you're an anxious person, you probably will always be somewhat anxious. So there's no magic bullet that's going to take that out. What you have to do is attack the process from knowledge of how it all works. And that requires that we have a more sophisticated understanding than is possible from simply observing behavior, because behavior does not tell you necessarily what's on the mind. Behavior tells you how the brain has responded. But just to go back to the fear threat example, when, let's say I bring you into the laboratory, show you a picture of something like a blue square. My colleague Liz Phelps, who used to be at NYU, is now at Harvard, did experiments like this. And every time the blue square would come on, the person would get a mild shock to their finger. And so then she would present the blue square subliminally. That means, really quickly with something that follows it that kind of masks it. And that prevents the information from getting into the conscious mind. And so the person said, I didn't see anything. But if you put the person in an imaging machine, fMRI, and image what's happening, that stimulus, that threat, the blue square gets to the amygdala, turns it on, the heart begins to race, palms are sweating, but the person has no fear. The person doesn't know it's there and doesn't experience fear. The amygdala is not about fear. It's about detecting and responding to danger. In order to be afraid, that has to reach your conscious mind so that you can experience it as a state of this autonoetic consciousness that we're talking about, a self-involved consciousness.
That's hard for people to separate.
Yeah. Well,
the idea that there's a physical response, but that your mind's unaware of it.
Right. But when you understand that, that's why you come to understand that's why the medications are not working. They're targeted to work on these underlying systems in rats or mice, but that's not where we are experiencing our anxiety.
But these medications are very profitable, right? I mean, people enjoy it. Millions of prescriptions get written.
Yeah,
are they just going to phase those out?
They'll probably, they're probably all going off patent. And because the company can't find anything new, they're not going to keep pursuing it because it's not going to be a profit anymore.
But don't people still want them? I mean, it seems like that's